Tonight's game was the reflection of the focus that our players had on trying to eliminate what we call dips during the game. We've been back and analyzed all the games that we played, and especially the ones that we've lost. And with the exception of 5 minutes in each game, we basically could be somewhere near the top. I'm not gonna say we'd be undefeated, but I think that we wouldn't be where we are. So it was important that we made a mistake not to allow it to affect us mentally, not to let, move the ball. We had much better ball movement, much better focus. Everybody got touches, and guys stayed in the moment as opposed to allowing one bad play affect. Everybody's gonna make a mistake. Everybody's gonna take an ill-advised shot, but we didn't come back with 2 in a row. We moved the ball defensively. This team is very challenging for us to defend. Obviously, it came out the first half. I didn't think they ever was gonna miss a jump shot, and but I thought we had made some adjustments at halftime, not necessarily from a technical standpoint, just with our effort and our focus. They made a tremendous effort to get the ball inside, which Post is one of the best players in our league. But I thought our guys did a pretty good job of just not letting him have his way in there. And we did a credible job. We didn't stop him, but we just it was challenging for him to be consistent. So we didn't have a defensive dip that we've had in some games. Hopefully we can take the positive things away from this game that we've done well, and go back and look at that Clemson game to see whether or not we can find a way to not have any dips when we go to the arena this coming weekend.
Chandler was put into a more prominent role tonight. Can you just talk about him handling it and how he was assertive throughout?
What I think what has helped Chandler is not having to have the point guard responsibilities as much as we anticipated him handling when he first got it. He has the ability to score. He's a big, strong guy. You can't leave him open. He takes a contact and finishes around the basket, and he has a burst of speed that allows him to accelerate and move past people. And he's a much better athlete than maybe you might think. Whenever he's in a crowd, he seems though he's always comes away with the ball. So he's making much better decisions. I don't think he forced anything tonight. He definitely had an impact on the game.
Coach, talk about that last 2 minutes and 30 seconds in terms of your defense. It just seemed like that was one of the best consistent defensive performance. If you could analyze it versus what you've seen all season.
Well, we like to try to keep our hands on the passing, on the line between the man and the receiver. And sometimes we have a tendency to let people step out and thus not get our hands on the passing line so that the ball can step, it can catch it farther away from the basket. I thought that, we found the energy to get our hand on the passing line, and I thought we did a much better job, what we call mirroring the ball. We didn't back off when the guy picked up his dribble. And he just couldn't make a easy pass. He had hands he had to go through. So we were much more consistent with that, especially in the second half. And I thought that pushed him out a little farther. And with us not playing behind the post, and then those times when he went into his scoring motion, I thought we what we call dig, we dug down in there and just made it a little uncomfortable. So they just didn't have the way. But even with that type of effort, talented guys would find a way to score. Tonight they just couldn't get in a consistent rhythm of scoring because of our defense. And this team is very challenging to prepare for because they're such good perimeter shooters. And which means that when you have to contest shots that far out, that opens up the middle for guys to be really, really isolated in the post. And as good as this youngster is, was challenging to defend it, but I thought that our hand activity and the effort that our guys put, just pushed them out forward on the floor, worked well for us tonight.
Through all the ups and downs, Jameer's been probably your most consistent, steady guy. Why is that?
Because he has a unusual skill, mentally and emotionally. He never seems to get rattled. He's always in the moment. And in the game of basketball, there's not very many people that can create shots for themselves and teammates when they're physically bumped. He has the strength, but he has the hand-eye coordination and the concentration that he can take a bump and still finish. And his footwork and his strength and his athleticism gives him a chance to, in a crowd, to get back up because of the strength he has in his legs, to concentrate, take a hit, and be accurate below the free throw line. And he's improving on his perimeter shooting, and I think our ball movement and ball reversals allowed him to take. I think he hit a couple threes, but they were very much uncontested because of the ball movement. See, you don't get wide open jump shots very much at this level unless somebody penetrates and passes you the ball. The ball movement tonight, the dribble penetration, I thought gave him an opportunity to have some rhythm jump shots that also added to his productivity, and we have not been getting that kind of ball movement on a consistent basis to give you a chance to do that. So now you have to come out and take him, then he has the ability to get into the lane. I thought he made pretty good decisions. A couple times he had a couple turnovers, but I thought he made it for the ball being in his hands as much as I thought that he really did a good job of not over-penetrate, passing when he needed to, creating for himself. That had another impact on the game.
Speaking of Jameer too, I think it was his second most minutes behind the overtime Colorado game. So most minutes in, I guess, regulation. 6 or 7 games left to play. Is that something that you think he can do for 6 or 7 more games?
We would very much not like to play guys that many minutes if we can avoid it. But with not having Green tonight, that was what we had to deal with. And I thought we rotated enough with Tom and Josh. We were able to get them enough rest where it didn't necessarily bother. And even though it was a high-scoring game, the pace was not at a level that it would fatigue you as much as some of the games we played in the past. And I thought that had a lot to do with them being able to play major minutes.
Coach Grant had talked about how your guys' defense was really tough to prepare for. Can you just elaborate maybe a little bit on what it was specifically that you guys really tried to focus on or force with your defensive battles tonight?
Well, what we've tried to do at Florida State since I've been here, we try to keep fresh people on the court so we can extend our energy for longer periods of time. But most people in our league don't believe in switching 1 through 5. Most people are playing pack line defense where it's more of a contained defense than a pressure defense. We pick up 94 feet in length of the court. We deny the wing, we deny the elbows, and we front the post and switch 1 through 5. That's different than what most people, they're concerned about getting in foul trouble. So they back up probably around the 3-point line and they contain you. And if we did the same thing everybody else was doing, then we'd be a lot easier to prepare for. So we've developed a system that we think works for us, that we believe in. That's why we basically have always had big guards, so that when they switch out on the post, that we're big and strong enough to heal them. And fortunately, our big guys, with the exception of sometimes, they're more at risk than anything else because now I got a 7-footer guarding a 5'10" guard, but we've been able to, as of late, be able to handle that a whole lot better. I think our guys are getting better at containing the dribble. And even though we've had some smaller guards like Tony Douglas, Jeff Peterson, guys, they're strong enough where they can front the post inside and get good weak side help and have good ball pressure, that we haven't been hurt that much. We're having smaller guys guarding bigger guys. So hopefully we'll develop more consistency in our defense. So sometimes tonight, had we not played with our hands up, they'd have been throwing the ball lobs into the big fella. And so our guys made it a little more challenging for them just to stand there and read that. And I thought that really had a lot to do with us being able to not get hurt as much as the post is capable of hurting.
Well, you mentioned the shorter rotation. Do you expect to have any of those guys back going forward?
I really don't know. I really don't, to be honest with you. I am. Hopefully so, but I don't think it's anything serious, but you know, you have to let nature take its course. Any other questions?
Circling back to the defensive side of the ball, it seems as if point of emphasis was attacking or swarming guys who seem to be less than efficient ball handlers. Was that a point of emphasis during practice for the past few days?
Well, normally when a post guy goes into his scoring motion, now Post is an excellent passer, and he does a great job of what we call spraying the ball out to three-point shooters. So you can't, if you go too early, he's gonna find shooters, and they have great three-point shooters. Obviously, you saw it. But once they go into, they put it on the floor and go into a score motion, they most of the time they don't look back for people they're trying to score. And I thought our guys crowded him enough that it made us a little uncomfortable, you know, for him to get in the scoring rhythm, like he's capable of doing. But those are defensive techniques that we've used since 1971, so it's nothing new. You probably wasn't born in 71 way. You probably wasn't born in 91. All right, any other questions?